Well, so that was different. Doctor Who started again and is moved from light sci-fi to full-blown unapologetic fantasy. Hasn't Doctor Who always had an element of the fantastical within it? Oh yes, of course it has. It's a show with a smidgen of sci-fi and lashings of pretty out there crazy. I mean, aliens made out of people's fat which just walks away, aliens that look like rhinos or cats, hospitals that move to the moon, a screwdriver that can do pretty much anything you can think of,
except work with wood.
It's definitely all out there, but within all the crazy there was some semblance of rules we could latch onto to make sense of the world. Now I feel the show started to lose the plot during the Chibnall era. The Flux was a perfect example of this. We never got to grasp the scale of the devastation. I mean, it reached the edges of Earth. We were told that everything, everywhere has been devastated, yet by the end, none of the stars in the sky seem to be missing, and yet we later learn that nothing has been fixed. Half the universe was and remains destroyed. But where was the devastation?
Didn't you just chalk that down to your pretty bad showrunner?
I did at the time, and was actually looking forward to RTD's return, but it seems this devil-may-care with the details attitude shifted up a gear with this new series.
Come on! Had you really forgotten the last of the Time Lords, where a decrepit, golem-like doctor rejuvenated and floated Christ-like because people believed in him? RTD was always one for not caring how something worked as long as it likely sounded cool.
No, I didn't, and truth be told, I kinda wish I had forgotten about that.
My Vulcan guy's on standby, you know.
But this new series goes actually well beyond that, and I think all the signs were there, and I just didn't want it to be true. I remember reading a quote from RTD about the Celestial Toymaker opening the door to a more fantastical universe for Doctor Who.
But didn't Ncuti's doctor himself say the Toymaker's domain was only still lingering for a few seconds by the end of the giggle, which enabled him to duplicate the TARDIS?
A few seconds, a few minutes, a few years, and there goes the crazy and the ludicrous. RTD said those trolls in that flying sail ship eating babies in the Christmas special were all possible thanks to the Toymaker's energy bleeding into the universe.
And at the time, you weren't sure how you felt about that.
You're right, I wasn't, and to be frank, I always preferred Stephen Moffat's take on the Doctor anyway. But having watched the next two episodes of this new series, Space Babies and The Devil's Cord, my feeling for this new show have solidified. Because now we have babies commanding a spaceship. Actual human babies. I mean, you do know babies don't have the musculature to do anything, right? They can't even keep their own heads up, let alone lift anything, never mind walking or even looking after their own bodily fluids. How did this premise actually become a thing? And then using the methane in their nappies to propel the space station, that was... I don't actually have words for that.
The monster was pretty cool.
Oh, the monster looked great. In fact, the production values are truly excellent. From the set designs, to the monsters, to the cinematography and the costumes, it's all fantastic. And we start with a great premise. The Doctor's not afraid of anything, and yet he's instantly and instinctively terrified of that monster. Why? Nice mystery. What could have scared the Doctor to such an extent?
Bogies.
Seriously?
Yeah. He was scared of the monster because it was made of boogies.
From the babies.
Well, that's the kind of absurdism you see in Saturday morning cartoons.
That's what I was gonna say. Now, maybe Russell was having an off day when he wrote that one.
We all have them.
So I pressed on the Devil's Cord, which was bound to be an exciting one. After all, it's the one where the Doctor and Ruby meet the Beatles.
Oh, those episodes can be so fun. Like when the Doctor made Shakespeare.
Or Agatha Christie, or Charles Dickens.
Winston Churchill. Van Gogh,
Queen Victoria.
The list goes on and on. But this was a complete jumbled mess of an episode.
Well, these Beatles were kinda like from a different reality where music didn't exist.
Yeah, okay, that would make for an interesting mystery. You see, like with the Space Babies, the setup is good. What's going on? How did we get in this mess? The hook is good. The rest just goes off the rails, and all because it's just fantasy, and there are no rules in fantasy. Aside from making it up as you go along is all fine and dandy.
You mean like turning musical notes into physical objects like lassos.
Ridiculous, nonsensical stuff. I kept wondering just what the hell I was watching.
But by the end, the music is restored and all is right with the world, right?
Actually, this felt very much like the resolution of the Flux. Devastation with no consequences. Yes, the music returns and the world is saved, except it seems that that's from that point forward, which means between 1925, when the episode starts, to 1963, no music was created, and all that missing music is actually pretty crucial to the development of the music that came after. So, where's the consequences? Where's the actual resolution?
You mean aside from the musical number at the end that broke the fourth wall? And a pedestrian crossing that turned into a piano after all the musical craziness should have been resolved?
No rules, no sense. Not for me.
Doctor Who's always been a kid show, though.
Oh, absolutely, and that's fine. I get that. Thing is, though, there was always stuff for the adults in the room to enjoy, but it feels that portion of the audience has been discarded. Mucklock said it best. We're now firmly in Saturday morning cartoon territory.
But what about the pretty obvious messages about the absurdity of abortion laws next to a complete absence of childcare and the nightmare of asylum bureaucracy?
It's actually good they're there, but you could omit those lines and it wouldn't change anything.
Aside from getting some people pissed off because words they didn't like were said.
Those would be the same people who would complain that Maestro was played by a drag queen. I have no problem with that actor. In fact, I thought they were great in their over-the-top campiness. It's the story I have an issue with.
It always comes down to the story in the end.
The story makes no sense. The universe makes no sense. You can make up whatever you want and it'll be fine, and as a result, there's no actual threat. Everything feels like it's just for show, merely for the likes, for that Instagram shot, and nothing else matters.
I thought Chuti was pretty good.
Oh, he's great. He brings a ton of energy to the role. I thought he was fantastic in Sex Education, and he embraces the role here with gusto. And yet, from Eccleston onwards, the Doctor had that alien quality. Sure, he looked human, but it was clear he wasn't. He was a creature from another world, grabbing a human companion and heading off into adventure. But here, good though Gatwa is, he just feels like a human having a mad fun holiday. That particular edge is missing. It doesn't quite work, at least for me.
I think that overly human trend started with Whittaker.
Yeah, you've got a point.
It's no big loss though, is it? After all, Doctor Who wasn't always your cup of tea.
You're right, it wasn't. I could never get into that show prior to its revival in 2005. I still can't. The stories were interesting, but the production values really put me off.
That's what you get when you're raised on American sci-fi.
I'm sure that played a large part, but New Who has been a staple of my sci-fi diet for decades. That's a long time. So now, we have the production values, but the universe that's been forged is no longer the same. I kept trying to watch the show during the appallingly written Chibnall era, and there was some occasional good stuff there during Whittaker's run, but I feel this is finally the nail in the coffin. For me. But it's fine. We've had a good run, and there's a ton of other stuff to watch. I might check in on the odd new episode now and again, but I doubt I'll be reviewing them. It takes a lot of time to make these little videos of mine. And what's the point of criticizing something that I can't like, just to be constantly negative?
A lot of people are making a good living out of criticizing everything that moves.
I don't think that's good for your health, or at least not good for mine anyway. I watch a show because I hope it'll be good, not because I know it's not for me and I'm going to rip it a new one. I don't see the point of that.
Well, you've never shied away from telling people you thought a show or movie was shit.
I'm awarding Rebel Moon, Child of Fire, 1 paw. 1 paw. Half a paw. 1.5 paws. 1 paw. 1 paw. Half a paw. But I didn't go in expecting to do that. I think there's a difference there. As for Doctor Who, it's now abundantly clear it's no longer part of the genre I'm interested in. Sci-fi. It would be like asking a chef to review a sheepdog competition. How would that even work? I hope this new Doctor Who finds its audience, but it's time to move on.
But isn't the next episode written by Stephen Moffat?
Is it?